The NBA play-in tournament is officially over, and it's time for the playoffs to begin, and here are my NBA playoff predictions. Starting out in the Eastern Conference, we have the 1 seed Pistons versus the 8 seed Magic. In their regular season series, they split 2-2, and the Magic didn't have Franz Wagner for most of the season, with him only playing 34 games. And in the games Wagner played, they had a 58% win percentage, and on the season they won 54.9% of their games. So if that would have been true for the full season, with him in the lineup they should have won around 3 more games. But the Pistons have been great all year long. They've been the number 1 seed in the East for pretty much the entire season, and they're also the only 60-win team in the East. These teams are similar in the sense they don't shoot a lot. They were both bottom 9 in the NBA in 3 points attempted per game, and the Pistons shot the second least amount of threes this season. But the Pistons are just so good on defense. I have the Pistons winning in 6 games. Then we have the 4 seed Cavs versus the 5 seed Raptors. In the regular season, the Raptors swept the Cavs 3-0, but the last game they played was in November. But a lot has changed since that. The Cavs acquired James Harden and got Dennis Schroeder and Keon Ellis. This is a very favorable matchup for the Cavs, since their biggest weaknesses are perimeter defense and rebounding against bigger teams. And the Raptors were 24th in the NBA in rebounds per game, and they're the 10th worst three-point shooting team in the league. Plus, the Cavs were the 6th best offensive team in the NBA this season, so I have the Cavs winning in 5 games. Then we have the 3 seed Knicks versus the 6 seed Hawks. The Knicks won the regular season series 2-1, but the Hawks are also coming into the playoffs as one of the hottest teams in the NBA. Post All-Star break, they had the 3rd best record in the NBA at 20-6, and they're looking really good. But the Knicks have been the 4th best offensive team this season, while also being the 7th best defensive team. And I think the Knicks are just overall a better team, but I still think the Hawks are going to make a very competitive series, so I have the Knicks winning in 6 games. Then the 2 seed Celtics versus the 7th seed 76ers. In the regular season, they split the series 2-2, but the Celtics have been one of the best teams in the NBA all season long, and then they got Jason Tatum back, and he's been great in his 16 games he's played, averaging 21.8 points, 10 rebounds, and 5 assists, with around 1.5 steals per game. While the Celtics aren't a super deep team, they're still really good. But the 76ers have also been pretty good this season. They won 45 games, and Tyrese Maxey had a career season averaging 28 points, 4 rebounds, and 6.5 assists. And VJ Edgecombe has been a great rookie this season. But Joel Embiid is still injured. He is currently ruled out for Game 1, and he could potentially miss more games. But I still think Philly's going to keep it competitive, especially if Embiid can come back. But I have the Celtics winning in 6 games. Then moving over to the West, the Thunder versus the Suns. The Thunder won the regular season series 3-2, and Jalen Green is super hot for the Suns right now. In his last 2 games, he's averaging 35.5 points per game in the play-in tournament. And that's also with Devin Booker not even playing at his best. But the Thunder are entering the playoffs pretty healthy. And they're still the best team in the NBA. So I have the Thunder winning in 5. Then we have the Lakers versus the Rockets. The Lakers won the regular season series 2-1. But the Lakers are extremely injured right now, with Austin Reeves and Luka Doncic both out for at least another week. But also Kevin Durant is questionable for Game 1 with a right knee contusion. But it's going to be extremely hard for LeBron to fully carry the Lakers in this series, with the Rockets still being a really good team and with a lot of depth. So I have the Rockets sweeping the series. Then we have the 3 seed Nuggets versus the 6 seed Timberwolves. The Nuggets won the regular season series 3-1, and the Nuggets are entering the playoffs as the hottest team in the league, winning their last 12 regular season games. And they were the number 1 offensive team in the NBA this season, but they're really not good on defense. They were 21st in defensive rating this season, but they also had a ton of injuries this year, and Peyton Watson is going to be out for at least the first game of the series. But also, Anthony Edwards is questionable for Game 1. I think this is going to be a very competitive series. I think it could be the closest series in the first round, but I still have the Nuggets winning in 6 games. Then we have the number 2 Spurs versus the number 7 Trailblazers. The Spurs took a huge leap this season, and were the 2nd best team in the NBA at 62-20. And Victor Wembanyama's been incredible this season, averaging 25 points, 11.5 rebounds, 3 assists, and over 3 blocks per game. And they also won the regular season series 2-1. I really love how the Blazers have been this season, and they're building a really good team, but they're still super young and inexperienced. I can't wait to see them next year with Damian Lillard, but the Spurs have been very dominant this season, so I have them winning in 4 games. Then moving over to the second round, the Pistons versus the Cavs. This should be a pretty fun matchup, with one of the best offensive teams in the league with the Cavs, with one of the best defensive teams in the league with the Pistons. But I feel like the Cavs are coming off a very good warm-up series against the Raptors, since they have very similar play styles, with the Pistons not shooting many threes, but they also had the second best defense in the NBA this season. But with that Cavs offense with James Harden and Donovan Mitchell, and that front court of Jarrett Allen and Evan Mobley, it's going to be hard for them to get beat. But Jarrett Allen needs to get healthy. He's missed a lot of the last month and a half with knee tendonitis, but he is going to play in the playoffs. So I have the Cavs winning the series in 6 games. Then the Knicks versus Celtics. These are 2 of the best teams in the East, and this is going to be a very hard-fought series. While I think the Knicks are a deeper team, the Celtics' top 7 or 8 players on the roster I feel are better. But with the way the Celtics have been playing, I have them winning the series in 7 games. Then the Thunder versus Rockets. I think this could be a great series. Both of these teams have similar play styles. They're pretty much equal in shooting and equal on offense. They're both top 10 offenses in the league. OKC was 7th in offensive rating, while Houston was 8th. And they're both good on defense, but the Thunder are just the most dominant defense in the NBA this season, and the Rockets are averaging the 10th most turnovers per game this season, but they are also the best rebounding team in the league. So I think it could be a very competitive series, but it's just going to be super hard to beat the Thunder. So I have the Thunder winning in 6 games. Then the Nuggets versus Spurs. This is going to be another great offense versus a great defense. Even though the Nuggets have the best offense in the NBA, their lack of defense is going to really hurt them, especially in the playoffs. And the Spurs have been 3rd in both offensive and defensive rating this season. And while the Nuggets are going to be able to score very well, I just don't see them getting enough stops to get past them. So I have the Spurs winning in 6. Then in the Eastern Conference Finals, the Cavs versus Celtics. It'd be huge for the Cavs to make it to the Eastern Conference Finals, especially for James Harden and Donovan Mitchell, since Mitchell hasn't made it out of the second round in his career. But over the last few years, the Cavs have just really struggled against the Celtics, especially when they have Tatum. While I still think it's going to be a competitive series, with the Cavs' lack of perimeter defense and the Celtics having a ton of great shooters on the team, I have the Celtics winning in 6 games. Then the Western Conference Finals, the Thunder versus Spurs. We've seen this matchup 5 times in the regular season, and they've all been great games. And the Spurs pretty much dominated those games, going 4-1 versus OKC. I think this would be by far the best series of the playoffs, and the closest. The really only downside I see to the Spurs is their lack of experience and how young they are. And the Thunder have been in this situation already, and they've already won a finals. But even with how young the Spurs are, I have them winning in 7 games. Then in the NBA Finals, the Celtics versus Spurs. When they played in the regular season, the Spurs won the series 2-0, and one of those games, the Celtics did have Tatum. But as long as the Spurs stay healthy, their defense is just so good. I have the Spurs winning the finals in 6 games. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe. Goodbye.